When I started out in the world as a young man, it was as a journalist, writing in the newspaper in Bahawalpur, south of Lahore.
Bahawalpur Times?
Yes, you know it.
I do. I've spent some time there.
That was home, where I was raised, where my family is from. I knew the place, I knew the people. I wrote local news, stories I hope would make some difference. A village's entire year's wheat crop lost in a fire, a new technique for digging wells that made it easier for farmers to irrigate their fields. I wrote a lot about farmers. A child born to a sharecropper's family who had a remarkable ability in maths. Truly remarkable. That article was a success. Someone with the power to do something read it. That young boy got a scholarship to study in London.
Was that Bashir?
It was not Bashir, though it could have been. He's like a son to me now. A very brilliant young man, despite the occasional lapse. Your kidnapping, for example.
Right.
The only thing I couldn't write about, the one thing that really mattered, was corruption. There is a road from eastern Bahawalpur to some of the outlying villages, a road that some 100,000 people depend upon. Unusable. Pockmarked, with potholes the size of a city bus.
Nanji Road?
Right. Every year in local council, a Nanji Road was at the top of the list. Every year it was brought up in Parliament. Every year it was voted for and approved, paid for 10 years. But the road was never been fixed. I wrote the article, told the story of where that money might have been going. My editor killed it. Of course, I was fired, lectured about how I should know better. 2 days later, my father was coming home from work. 3 men ambushed him. They were riding motorcycles. They beat him to the ground with chains. My father was left on the side of the road. They told him, "Tell your son not to worry about Nanji Road. It's fine just the way it is."
Jesus.
For 3 days he survived, long enough to berate me for my foolishness. You see, we are prisoners of a corrupt country that is our own making. But don't pretend you don't participate. You do. Of course you do. That's your job. That was Mr. Carey Martin's job, to grease the wheels, to rape and plunder our nation. I commend you for not objecting, Mr. Bright. One of the many things I never seem to have learned, that the key to success in life is keeping one's true thoughts to himself. It was a very long path from that young man whose father was killed because of him to the person you see before you today. A long journey, but a straight one. A clean line. A clean line of outrage. Are you following me, Mr. Bright?
I believe so.
What am I telling you?
That you kidnapped me so you can fix roads?
Exactly. When Bashir came to me with your idea, I was skeptical, but he made a passionate case. He has a growing annual budget. If he had a deeper understanding of the financial side of things, that would be very helpful indeed. So, if I am inclined to take up you on the offer, Mr. Bright, it will be as much for the sake of his education as for the prospect of the full ransom being paid.
Well, you'll have to reduce your expectations on the ransom, sir. 3 million I can get. I can turn it into 5. Feel confident about that. 10? That's not going to be likely. It bloody well is.
Yalla! Ibn Kelb. You don't have to humor him, Mr. Bright.
You have to give me a realistic goal, or I won't be effective. Give me something I can really work toward.
You are right. This is what I propose. Mercy.
Excuse me?
You work to make your full ransom. If you are diligent, well-behaved, but haven't made the full 10 million in 1 year's time, we revisit the terms of your captivity.
Well, that's not...
Mr. Bright, enjoy the mercy I am showing you.
I'm going to need things. Access to information, to markets.
Bashir has been looking into that very diligently, you will be happy to hear. You won't be allowed to be within a meter of any computer.
Fine. No more handcuffs.
That is at Bashir's discretion.
Not acceptable. My hands need to be free. I need to be reading, making notes. I cannot work with these. They hurt.
You are certain you can get the 3 million?
There's a way. Through my personal accounts in Grand Cayman.
Then it's settled. We keep you alive. We treat you well. Bashir learns what he can. You make your ransom. We let you go.
What's my assurance?
My word is your assurance.
Your word? What happens when you don't like me anymore? Or when you start having problems with Lashkar again?
Lashkar?
Bashir told me...
We are not Lashkar. We have nothing to do with Lashkar. I don't want to hear that name. They call themselves Muslims. They are animals.
Understood.
When I was younger, I spent some time in Trenton, New Jersey, not far from where you went to school. Princeton, right? Oh, don't be surprised. We should know some things about you by now. So much struck me about your country, the poverty, which I did not expect, and the fat people. But what I found truly amazing was the lawyers. Nothing happens in your country without a lawyer. No trust in yourselves, in each other. No conduct of life a man will not break. That's what it means to be an American, isn't it? Nobody's word means anything.
Sir, I used to read about what people in my country were doing to the Quran in Guantanamo. It disgusted me. That's wrong. Don't abuse what's sacred to someone.
I understand. So tell me, Mr. Bright, what's sacred to you? Is it the lawyers? Or is it the fat people? So let me ask you this. What, in your opinion, can motivate people to do the most extraordinary things? Can money do that?
I don't know.
What do you think? But I want to know. Is money the root of the great fulfilled lives in human history?
I guess I would say no, it's not.
Right, exactly right. As I told you, you see, I believe that money is the opiate of the people, not religion. Money is what puts people to sleep when it comes to the moral dimensions of life. And the only tonic, the only remedy for this sleeping sickness of money, do you know what it is?
What?
Sacrifice. Take it.
Did I say something wrong?
One thing that has always made me very angry about Americans is the way they confuse money with righteousness. Being rich does not give you moral superiority, Nick Bright.
If I did something wrong, I'm sorry.
3,000 of your people are killed in one day, and it gives you license to kill hundreds of thousands of people.
We can leave it at 10 million, it's fine.
And to feel so good about it. You are murdering hypocrites, and for that you deserve to die.
For God's sake, listen to me.
Kill him.
Dog, please no. Don't kill me.
Kill him, I said. I changed my mind. Move. I said move.
What I made for you 2 days ago, I can do it again. I can. Just don't kill me.
Do it.
Please, no. Dar, don't. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God.
Free him. We are expecting great things from you. Just don't ever forget where you are and who you are. Go. I'll see you at Juma prayers.